How to fix blurry text in 4:3 aspect ratio for Counter-Strike 2. Welcome back to Tenebalta. During our investigation into modern display scaling anomalies, we encountered a frustrating visual bug where switching to a 4:3 aspect ratio in Counter-Strike 2 causes severe text distortion, ghosting, and shadow artifacts around UI elements. Tenebalta's analysis revealed that this issue primarily stems from how modern graphics pipelines handle non-native resolutions, downscaling algorithms, and panel pixel mapping. After running our diagnostics, we discovered that standard screenshots fail to capture this distortion because it occurs purely at the physical hardware or framebuffer output stage, which is why players often have to photograph their monitors with a phone to document the text warping. Our testing showed that standard solutions, like simply changing aspect ratios inside the game menu, are insufficient, requiring a comprehensive, multi-layered technical approach. Let us dive into the ultimate step-by-step technical guide to permanently eliminate blurry text and visual artifacts in Counter-Strike 2. To begin our troubleshooting methodology, we must address the native scaling behavior of your graphics processing unit. Access your Nvidia control panel or AMD software, Adrenaline Edition, and navigate to the Display Scaling tab. Ensure that your scaling mode is set to aspect ratio rather than full screen or center to prevent incorrect horizontal pixel stretching. Tenebalta tested this configuration extensively and confirmed that allowing the GPU to handle scaling instead of the monitor reduces text bleeding significantly. Furthermore, make sure that the override scaling mode set by games and programs is unchecked to give your GPU absolute priority over output geometry. Next, let us focus on GPU integer scaling, which is a powerful tool for retro and stretched resolution enthusiasts. Integer scaling scales pixel art and low-resolution graphics by exact integer multiples, ensuring that pixels remain sharp and undistorted without fuzzy interpolation filters. During our hardware evaluations, we enabled integer scaling in the display settings of our graphics driver panel, which completely eliminated the strange black shadow borders behind white text characters. Keep in mind that your display must support GPU-level scaling features for this option to function correctly during match execution. Moving on to custom resolutions, which form the cornerstone of resolving 4:3 clarity issues in modern tactical shooters. Many players default to the standard 1280x1024 resolution, which inherently possesses a 5:4 aspect ratio rather than true 4:3, leading to mathematical pixel mismatching and severe font warping. Tenebalta's technical team recommends creating a custom resolution of 1280x960 or stepping up to a custom 1440x1080 resolution via your driver control panel. Our testing showed that 1280x960 maintains a strict 4:3 mathematical ratio, mapping pixels cleanly onto modern 16:9 widescreen monitors without distorting UI typography. When configuring your custom resolution, you must also pay close attention to refresh rate timings and blanking intervals. Force your custom 1280x960 or 1280x1080 resolution to run at your monitor's maximum native refresh rate using DisplayPort or high-speed HDMI connections. If your timing parameters default to standard television values instead of reduced blanking digital standards, text artifacts and pixel shimmer will inevitably occur during rapid camera movements. After applying the custom resolution in your driver utility, verify that the refresh rate is locked correctly inside the Windows Advanced Display Settings menu. Another critical layer of our diagnostic procedure involves adjusting your in-game scaling filters. Inside Counter-Strike 2, navigate to your video settings and check whether your display mode is set exclusively to full screen rather than windowed full screen or windowed. Windowed modes force the Windows Desktop Window Manager to apply bilinear filtering over your game frame buffer, which instantly introduces text blur and character deformation. Our diagnostics confirmed that switching to exclusive full-screen mode hands direct hardware control over to the game engine, bypassing Windows desktop scaling entirely. Let us examine the role of anisotropic filtering and anti-aliasing settings in relation to text clarity. High levels of multi-sampling anti-aliasing can sometimes blend high-contrast edges of text strings, making white fonts look fuzzy against dark backgrounds when downscaled. Tennebalter recommends setting MSAA to 4x or utilizing CMA2 through external driver overrides, while keeping in-game texture filtering modes set to anisotropic 16x. This precise balance ensures that world textures remain crisp, while UI elements avoid over-aggressive edge softening algorithms. Texture streaming and global occlusion settings can also indirectly impact how rasterized fonts are rendered on screen. Open your advanced video options in Counter-Strike 2 and toggle Use Uber shaders to enabled, as this prevents real-time shader compilation stutter that can corrupt UI frame delivery. Our testing demonstrated that stabilizing frame delivery times prevents micro-stutter anomalies that visually manifest as ghosting or duplicated text layers behind HUD elements. Ensure that your global texture filtering quality is set to high to prevent texture compression artifacts from degrading font sharpness. Monitor-level hardware settings play an equally vital role in eliminating visual ghosting and text distortion. Access your physical monitor's on-screen display menu and inspect the response time or overdrive settings. Setting your monitor overdrive option to an extreme or maximum level often causes aggressive pixel overshoot, which creates white or dark halos behind text, characters closely mimicking the exact symptom reported by players. Tennebalter recommends setting your monitor overdrive to a balanced or medium setting to eliminate overshoot artifacts entirely. Sharpness filters implemented directly inside display firmware can also distort clean text rendering. Navigate through your monitor settings and locate any proprietary sharpness enhancements, super resolution features, or dynamic contrast toggles. Disabling these post-processing features ensures that your monitor displays the raw pixel data fed by the GPU without artificially exaggerating high-contrast edges. Our laboratory tests proved that turning off monitor-side sharpness controls makes 4:3 text look significantly cleaner and more natural. If you are running an Nvidia graphics card, you should thoroughly evaluate the. While Nvidia image scaling is designed to boost frame rates, enabling it simultaneously with non-native 4:3 resolutions can trigger conflicting scaling passes between the driver and the game engine. Tennebalter advises disabling image scaling entirely when playing competitive titles at stretched resolutions to maintain a direct 1:1 pixel mapping pipeline. If sharpening is desired, apply it exclusively through the GeForce Experience Freestyle filter overlay rather than global driver scaling. AMD users must similarly inspect Radeon image sharpening settings when configuring custom 4:3 aspect ratios. While a moderate sharpening value of around 30% can help define distant targets, cranking the slider too high introduces intense white outlines and black ghosting behind text characters. Our diagnostics revealed that keeping Radeon always apply these changes and restart the game client to clear the shader cache. Checking your Windows ClearType text calibration wizard is another essential diagnostic step that many players overlook. Press the Windows key, type ClearType, and run the tuner utility to ensure that your operating system renders fonts cleanly for your specific display panel type. Although games render their own internal fonts, Windows scaling parameters and desktop DPI settings can occasionally bleed into borderless or windowed rendering buffers. Completing the ClearType calibration process guarantees that system-level text rendering vectors remain optimized. Let us address display cable integrity and signal transmission protocols as a potential hardware-level culprit. Faulty HDMI cables or outdated adapters often fail to transmit adequate bandwidth for uncompressed pixel data, forcing the display to compress color channels and introduce chroma subsampling. Chroma subsampling severely degrades high-contrast text rendering, turning sharp white letters into blurry, colored smudges. Tenabalta strongly recommends using certified DisplayPort 1, 4 cables, or high-bandwidth HDMI 2.1 cables to ensure lossless pixel transmission. Operating system scaling and high dynamic range settings can also interfere with game text sharpness. Right-click your desktop, open Display Settings, and verify that your scale and layout percentage is locked strictly at 100%. If Windows attempts to apply a 125% or 150% DPI scaling factor to a secondary hooked window or background process, it can corrupt how game frames are scaled. Furthermore, disabling HDR in Windows while playing competitive shooters often resolves sudden contrast washing and text distortion bugs. Verifying game file integrity through Steam is a crucial maintenance step to ensure no corrupted font or UI shaders are causing the anomaly. Right-click Counter-Strike 2 in your Steam library, navigate to Properties, select Installed Files, and click Verify Integrity of Game Files. Our testing showed that missing or partially corrupted font manifest files can cause the engine to fall back to incorrect rasterization profiles, resulting in distorted typography. Let Steam download any repaired files before launching the game again. Finally, updating your graphics card drivers using a clean installation method clears out any lingering driver profile conflicts. Use a utility like Display Driver Uninstaller in safe mode to completely wipe old driver remnants before installing the latest stable package from Nvidia or AMD. Tenabalta's comprehensive diagnostic run confirmed that a clean driver installation resets all global scaling overrides and fixes underlying pipeline corruption. Apply all these advanced technical steps, and your Counter-Strike 2 gameplay at 4.3 will achieve pristine visual clarity. Don't forget to follow Tenabalta for more.